No one likes to play it with me because it takes a good 10 to 12 hours, actually even more if it's a good game. But nonetheless, my favorite game to play is Risk. So if you ever have a free weekend and you're up for it, hit me up. I'll show you how much fun global domination can be. But here's the thing. Who has a free weekend, right? We're all so busy. And today, I just want to take a couple of minutes to encourage you to take the risk. Not the board game, though that'd be fun. Take the real life risk of putting yourself out there, foregoing the comfortable thing, the tyranny of the urgent, the busyness, and doing the thing that scares you. This is The Next Simple Step. I'm Paul Goldsmith. Seth Godin said, "It's not art if there's no risk." The risk isn't financial ruin, though that may be part of it. No, the risk is the risk of rejection, of puzzlement, of statistics. Art requires the artist to care, and to care enough to do something when we know it might not work. What's that risk for you? Maybe it's setting a boundary with someone and risk them not liking it or you. Maybe it's dealing with your own insecurity and not checking social media or your email before 11 a.m. so you can do some deep work first thing in the morning. I've shared a lot of tactics on this podcast, so thank you for listening, and hopefully some of those have been helpful to you, like doing morning pages. I still think that's a great idea to process your thoughts and unearth unconscious, just beneath the surface, those emotions that bubble up when you start deeply thinking. Valuable. Another tactic, using a Pomodoro tomato timer to block all interruptions and do some sprints, 20, 25-minute sprints of work can also be helpful. Or even going for a walk, moving your body and getting some sun. Extremely valuable. Those are good things to do, but I'm really feeling the need to just go deeper. Forget about the tactics. Because sometimes when you're so committed to a goal that you're excited about, that you're passionate about, that you just can't stop working on, the tactics fall into place because you're just so motivated to do it. Really, that's what I want to focus on. Having a commitment each quarter, every 3 months of the year, to really go further than you can imagine, and breaking that up every month, you're on a mission to unlock a new level of growth. And then you break that mission down into tactics each month, each week, and then each day. And you don't get frustrated if you don't make progress each day, because it's about the process. And over time, you will make progress, and you'll really surprise yourself at how much progress you can make when you focus on one thing at a time, one priority. You have to block out the distractions in order to do that. Do whatever is required to do that risky thing. You put yourself out there. It might not work. You might fail, but what will you learn? You don't need more tools. You don't need more advice or information. You just need the commitment and the grit to persevere. So what is a stretch goal for you? What's something that you try, but it might not work, and it's worth it anyway? That's precisely why you need to do it. To see what's possible, to stretch yourself, and then try a different way, or decide that you didn't want to do it after all, but you don't know until you've tried. And you have to start by eliminating those lesser goals, those distractions. Author Bob Goff has instituted Quit Something Thursday. Each week, Quit Something Thursday gives him an excuse to, well, it's in the name, quit something, and it frees up time for something else. Now, he puts his personal phone number in the back of every book that he's written, and I can just imagine he gets text all the time. And so clearly this guy is really good at prioritizing his time. So he quits a lot of things so that he can focus on the present thing that he's decided is important. For me, I have really been focused on dialing down the things that are no longer a priority for me, and recently made the decision to shut down my original consulting company, Goldsmith Media Group, at the end of this year. I launched that back in 2015 as a side hustle while I was still full-time, a W-2 employee. And then when I went full-time as an entrepreneur in 2017, Goldsmith Media took off, moved my family to Nashville, and decided that I wanted to form a partnership. And once I formed the partnership, I still kind of had these two things going on, my Goldsmith Media coaching and launched this podcast and some other things. But the partnership with Vidaire Creative and the fundraising company really took off and became my primary income and focus. And it's hard to give up the company with my name on it. Had a collaboration with a couple other people that I really respect doing business through Goldsmith Media. And so I've let them know that we're going to transition things, but their business will continue. However, my part of Goldsmith Media is going to be wrapped up at the end of the year. It's a little bittersweet because it's hard to give up something you've done for so long and has your name attached to it. But it's time to free up my time and focus on my other priorities, my partnerships. I'm also considering what that means for the podcast, maybe going to less frequency than every week. We'll get back to you. This is a labor of love, of course, but how serious I am at really accomplishing my bigger goals means I have to give up some lesser goals, even things that are good or fun. Can't do it all, or at least I can't do it all right now, and neither can you. So what good things are you willing to scale back on for now or sacrifice so you can go deeper with the more important priorities? And I just think that one of the things that keeps you back is that fear, because if you give it up, you're admitting defeat, or it feels like maybe that was a waste of time, but that's not the case at all, because everything helps you for your future. It's you either win or you learn. I really believe that. This thing has a name. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, where people hang on to things longer than is valuable because they've already sunk so much cost into it. Maybe it served a purpose in the past, but you don't need it to go forward, and we're always moving forward, so it's okay to let it go. As Marie Kondo might say thank you, goodbye. And she was talking about articles of clothing that people are reluctant to give up and get out of their closet because there's some sort of emotional attachment there that you hold on to these things. And so the closet is just an analogy for life. Say thank you, goodbye to some good things for what they taught you, what they gave you, what you were able to accomplish, so that you can accomplish even more with this new information, with this new level that you're at today. And if you ever find yourself in a marathon game of risk, just remember the quote from The Princess Bride: never get involved in a land war in Asia. It's good advice. It spreads you too thin. We're all spread too thin. So focus on some things you can control. And in your own life, it's the same thing. You got to scale back, get small so you can get big, and eliminate all of the many other things that are taking your attention and focus and resources so that you can focus on the one or two things that are really going to move you forward, that are going to help you grow. So what's coming to mind? What can you quit today? Well, no matter what day you're listening to this on, it doesn't have to be quit something Thursday. Maybe it's forgo something Friday. Whatever it is, remember to quit something and then devote that time to your top priority right now. I got to get back to focusing on mine, so I'll talk to you next time on the next Simple Step Podcast.